A big part of clinical trial diversity is about being present in the communities, and that's what we're trying to do differently here.
The Clinical Trials Diversity Partnership brings together patients first, community partners, community-based providers to focus on real conversation. What is it that we need to do differently in this space?
First off, it creates a network of clinical trial sites that are in the communities. So you're creating a talent pool of investigators who are committed to this work, who come from those communities.
To me, the real opportunity here is to address some of the gaps that we have identified in infrastructure. How do we engage these community providers and sustain that engagement over time?
We're going to examine what does it take for that site to successfully participate in clinical trial, and not just one clinical trial, but how can that be a foundation so that they can participate in multiple trials? We can see what works, what doesn't work, and then we can focus on change.
The breadth of the approach that pharma is taking, working with every one of the companies, I think it's very unique, and I'm really confident that we'll have a great opportunity to make a long-lasting impact.
I think it was really important for pharma to approach diversity in clinical trials with a sense of humility. We began this process with a stakeholder roundtable. We had over 150 organizations, 500 individuals participating, where we could frankly listen and learn what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked, and that led us to this idea.
One of the great things about this initiative is that while it's being sponsored by pharma and the various pharmaceutical companies that are a part of that, it's actually going to be open to everyone. And so whether the studies are being sponsored by pharmaceutical companies or whether they're being sponsored by the National Institutes of Health or even other funders, everyone can take part in this network.
We can build capacity at these sites. We can do so in partnership. There is no question. But that is really the learnings we're aiming to gain in this next phase. How can we partner successfully with community-based clinical sites and the community partners around them in their ecosystem to build an infrastructure that supports a respectful and rigorous clinical trial enterprise?